Off his brother's head, over to Michaeli, just like they drew it up. Rail at the top, they'll slow it down. Like the Harlem Globetrotters out there. Graydon Buell with the basketball.
Try to be a little flash.
Jake Rail, high on the left side, lob pass to Xavier. Big shot and one! He couldn't get the alley-oop dunk, but instead showing great body control, banks it in for two and will go to the line for three the hard way.
That is a second T foul called against Cheyenne South. That one going against Bell. He'll pick up his third.
May have taken a shot to the groin too as he's bent over at the hip. As you'll see Clark and Pope come in, Allmiller is going to take a seat. He's coming in for the shooter. It's Rail and Demetrius who will come out for East. It's back to a 25-point lead. If Xavier can knock this free throw in, it will be the largest lead of the night of 26. He misses the shot, and Manzanares will grab the rebound.
Still
across the timeline he comes. Goes over to the Bell on the left wing. Buell has his hand on his right hip. And Hunter Scott has it in the corner. Manzanares left wing, back in the corner to Ray. Down low, here's Hunter. Scott who checks in for Alexander. Misses the shot, does Scott, but there on the offensive rebound is Bell for his 7th point, lead back to 23.
Yeah, nice cleanup there by Bell on that play.
Buell down low, Xavier banks it in for two.
As Cheyenne East is having no difficulty finding the inside routes right now against this Fightin' Bison team.
Buell ties his season average with his 5th assist. 23 points for Xavier McCord. Making a case for Prep Athlete of the Week is Xavier. High arcing shot over the shot block attempt of Xavier, knocks down his first 2 points for Marcus Manzanares, lead back to 23. Clark, right corner three, left alone, nothing but net for Alec Clark, his first bucket on the night. It is a 26-point lead, largest of the night.
As now we go back and forth between these two offense. Again, for Cheyenne South, you can't afford that. You need a big stop.
Manzanares straight away, looking for Manzanares on the left wing, gives it to him. Hunter Scott has it on the left elbow. One dribble. He tried to back down McCord, picks it up, goes back to Ray. Now calling for the screen is Ray. Screen and roll. Ray has it on the right wing, puts up the three ball. Nothing but net for Leandre Ray. He's got 9 and a timeout called by Coach Bailey. He only has one left the rest of the way. It's a full timeout. I believe he only has fulls left, and he does. A 1-minute timeout here for us on 1480 KRAE. To 38, 23-point lead for East. It's been as much as 26, though, for the Thunderbirds.
As we have a little moisture on the floor, towels out there. 80, Mark Pueb of Cheyenne South with at least making sure that it is dry out there. As again, last time we were here, we had the infamous plates that came loose where players were slipping on those metal plates that have, I think, been at least hopefully welded down or at least taped down.
Well, they used duct tape last time, and I'm not sure what they had used this time, but we haven't had that issue as East will have the basketball. Michaeli, Pope, Clark, Allmiller, and Buell out on the floor for East. For South, it's Bardo, Manzanares, Scott, Mascarenas, and Leandre Ray.
Yeah, Lee Story Gymnasium, a very old, historic gymnasium here in the city of Cheyenne. Again, being used for these crosstown rivalry games between East and South, South and Central, East and Central.
Buell calling out Allmiller for the high screen. Goes down with a double team, still with the basketball. We'll go over to Pope. Pope tried to bounce it once, goes up. He's fouled. The shot was thrown out of play towards the cheerleaders. It's going to be a foul on Hunter Scott.
as he'll pick up his first foul. That will be team's third, called against Cheyenne South.
Pope 68% on the season.
Got a minute 45 left here in the third quarter with Cheyenne East up big.
First one on the way, too strong.
A little too long and strong on that hard brick there. Again, Cheyenne East, that's, as you mentioned, just barely above 50% on the season. Again, showing those kind of struggles here tonight.
Second one by Pope as he twirls the basketball, throws it up with the right hand. Much better tempo, much better result as he knocks that one in. He's got 3 points, the lead to 24. Ray, step back, left corner three, blocked by Clark. He grabs it back, does Ray, but he stepped out of play, and it'll be East basketball.
So another turnover by the Fightin Bison. Chance for Cheyenne East to extend out the already large lead here.
Safe to say that's Alec Clark's first block on the season. Buell will walk it across into the front court, be met by Mascaneras.
I think that's a fair assumption on it. At least Clark, where again he's not known for his height out there.
Buell with the basketball. A lot of contact. Goes over to Clark. Left corner three is short. Manzanares grabs the long rebound. Stepped out of bounds.
As Manzanares at least trying to make an argument against that. At least
that
officials saying that he was getting pushed.
Didn't win the argument like most players do.
I'd like to see the ones that do.
Right. Well, they're usually in the NBA.
As I say, yeah, one might be LeBron.
Rail will come in. Buell will take a seat for East. Inbound comes to Amiller. He's on the block, working on Bardo. Pump fake, clears some space, lays it in with the right hand. He's got 9 points.
That was just pure.
Lead back to 26.
That was just pure muscle on the inside, just trying to force his way and get that to fall.
Again, if you missed it earlier, I believe it's either earlier this week or last week, Chance Amiller signing a Division II football scholarship with Colorado Mesa and Grand Junction as Leandro Ray goes to the lane, and he's fouled by Alec Clark. And he'll go to the line to shoot 2.
As Clark will pick up his second foul, team second call against Cheyenne East.
So congratulations to Chance Allmiller. He was the leading receiver, almost broke a Class 4A, or actually receiving record across the board as far as football goes for yards. Had to have been really close because he scored a whole bunch of touchdowns this year. I want to say 15 or 16 touchdowns on the season.
Especially being led by the guy who is currently at least on the bench for Cheyenne East, that being one Graydon Buell.
Ray misses his first, will try to knock in the second one, puts it up, and that one is good. Goes 1 for 2 at the line. He's 2 for 3 from there. He's got 10 points to lead, or to be second on the team for South. Pope open for 3, drains it. His first 3 ball. He's got 6, the lead to 28. Tried to do some quick math in my head. Bird gets around Allmiller. He's going to be called for the block, no shot, even though it went through on the right hand for Chance.
Yeah, Chance will pick up his second, at least foul, team third against the Thunderbirds.
Scott will inbound it. On the right side of the hoop, goes to Ray. Now back up top, Bardo. Bardo looking down low. Instead will pick up his dribble and bounce pass it over to Scott High on the outside. Bird on the right wing, right in front of his bench. Fakes the shot, looking to go baseline, falls to the floor. No travel called. Bardo has it on the block. Turnaround jumpers, an air ball. And Allmiller grabs a loose ball. Here he comes off to the races. Goes to Rail, back to Allmiller, to Rail. 3 ball put up, it's going to be short. And Allmiller grabs the offensive rebound, banks it in with the right hand. His 6th rebound to go with his 11th point.
And how about a 30-point advantage for Cheyenne East?
5 seconds left here in this very fast-paced quarter. Ray puts up the deep 3, got it to go at the horn. He's got 13, a team high, but the lead is in the favor of East by 27 points, 69-42. We'll take a timeout, a 1-minute timeout right here on 1480 KRAE. 69-42, East with the lead as we are about to head to the fourth quarter. South will come out with Alexander, Jeremiah Moite, Leandre Ray, Kevin Bell, Cameron Bird. Starting five back out on the floor for East. We'll see how long they stay out on the floor. It's Buell, Miller, Rail, and the McCord twins.
Again, we're on pace of it's very similar contest between both the girls and boys here tonight at South, where at Story Gym, but again, where it was about a 30-point advantage in the fourth quarter for Coach Eric Wesley, where a couple minutes, about 1 or 2 minutes, his starting five was out there before he called off the dogs, and again saw a fresh five out there. So assuming the same here for Coach Rusty Horsley.
East will start with the basketball. Rel has it, goes over to Buell as they bob and weave on that perimeter. Miller has it, goes to Buell in the corner. Step back three from the corner is short. Grabbing the rebound will be Bird as he last touched it out of play. So East will maintain possession.
With the already large lead, where it's been as high as 30 points here tonight. Again, 40 points is the magic number for Cheyenne East if they want a running clock here.
Buell will get it into McCord, who loses the handle and throws it out of play.
Kind of the rare turnover there for the Thunderbirds.
As far as I have and count goes, that's just the 7th.
Cheyenne East, that's been at least kept it clean here tonight. Played a pretty, at least consistent basketball game against Cheyenne South.
Moite has it high on the left side. 2-3 zone now for East. Bell fakes the three, goes back to Moite. Bounce pass down low. Alexander kick out. Ray traveled. Too many shuffles. Did the Harden shuffle, and that will be called in high school.
That'll be called in high school, but James Harden can get away with it.
Right. Well, that's why it's called the Harden shuffle.
That's very true.
Kind of like the, Icky shuffle. But that was football, so they're allowed to travel in football.
It's still either way, it's still icky.
Rail with the basketball, gets into the paint, picks up his dribble, stolen away by Bird, lob pass over to Ray. Here comes Ray on the other side. Demetrius McCord tried to come all the way down to get the block. Instead, he will be called for the foul. That's a good foul, though, by Demetrius, as Leandre Ray will have to go and earn his 2 points the hard way.
Yeah, kind of that preventive, at least easy basket there on the breakaway. Demetrius picks up his second foul. Team's fourth against the Thunderbirds.
Ray with that right foot on the free throw line. Lined up with the green volleyball line here at Story Gym, and he knocks down his first one.
That green volleyball line that hasn't been used probably since the Region 9 at least volleyball tournament that was hosted a couple seasons ago.
I think you are correct there, as there was no high school volleyball here this year. Second one by Ray, knocks it in. Goes 2 for 2 at the line. It's a 25-point lead here for East. Xavier has it straight away. Gets into the lane, kick out pass. Buell goes into the lane, puts it up from the left elbow. Too strong, and the rebound comes down to Miller, who fights it through two players and lays it in for two. Brute strength for his 7th rebound and his 13th point for Chance Miller.
That's just plain and simple for Cheyenne East of how they've gotten it done here tonight, is just using strength and aggressiveness on the inside.
Lead up to 27. We have 6:40 left here in the fourth quarter. Bell knocks in his 3rd three-pointer. That is from the left corner. He's got 11. Miller has the basketball. Nice give and go. Extra pass to Buell, but he stood down too long, had it taken away. Now on his knees goes to McCord. A timeout called by Coach Horsley first, and Xavier's like, man, I was about to throw down a thunderous dunk, but instead it's going to be a 1-minute timeout for everybody here at the gym and for us here at 1480 KRAE. 71-47 with 6:19 left here in the fourth quarter. Buell will inbound it, gives it over to Demetrius. Can't get the roll. Buell grabs the offensive rebound. His shot hits off the back iron 3 times before falling through the hoop. And for Buell, he's got now 10 points to go with his 7 rebounds and 5 assists.
The interesting thing coming out of that timeout, starting 5 is still on the court there for Cheyenne East.
Bird puts up the 3. It's short. Demetrius grabs the long rebound. He's off to the races. Poked away from behind by Moite, but Moite's going to be called for that left hand on the back.
That will be the 4th team foul called against Cheyenne South from Moite. That'll be his 2nd.
26-point lead, ties the largest lead of the night for East.
Get an interesting move by Coach Rusty Horsley, at least not going to his bench yet, still keeping the starting 5 out there.
I'm assuming he's going to have him play at least half the quarter. Nice no-look dish from Xavier to Demetrius. And just like they say with twins, they just know where each other are without looking on the floor. Nice assist. We do have one small score from Laramie, just the fact that Central started the game against Laramie on 11-0 run. So we know that Central started with the lead.
Up by 11.
Ray tries a hard on the bank shot. Allmiller grabs the rebound. Here comes East in transition. Allmiller will go coast to coast and lay it in with the left hand. He's got 15.
And just like that, back up to a 30-point advantage again for the Thunderbirds.
Ray goes in transition, misses with the left hand. Alexander with the offensive rebound, too strong. Allmiller grabs his 9th rebound, 1 rebound away from a double-double. Rail has it with the left-hand dribble into the paint, goes to Xavier. Xavier is going to put up the 3, rattles in and out. The rebound's going to come to Demetrius. Demetrius in the lane, creates some space and rolls it in for 2.
Now a 32-point advantage for the Cheyenne East.
And actually that rebound should go to Allmiller as he tapped it to Demetrius. So give Allmiller the double-double. Bell has it on the right wing, dribbles with the right hand, gives it over to Bird. Bird on the baseline, tries to go reverse lay-in, and he does so. His first bucket of the half. He's got 13 points.
As now we go back and forth between these two on the offensive side.
Buell into the lane, puts up the right-hand shot, banks it in for 2. He's got 12.
As we see a fresh 5 waiting right now, next whistle for Cheyenne East.
It is 81-49. This 32-point lead, largest of the night, as Moite gets that one to rattle in. Now it's back to 29.
Actually, it's back to 30.
Oh, make that 30. I'll do math somewhere. Bird comes up with a steal. Bird with the steal and the 2-hand dunk. His second steal, and now it's a 28-point lead.
Cameron Bird soaring and flying, getting that dunk.
He's got 15 now, matches a team high with Ray. Xavier sizing up Alexander, fakes the shot, goes off the backboard, slams it home, but they're going to call a travel on McCord beforehand.
As we will see a new 5 out there for Cheyenne East and a fresh 4 for at least Coach Jeff Bailey in Cheyenne South.
Grant Redmond, Pope, quite a few. I'm going to have to go to the roster sheet here. It's Jarrett Taylor, Grant Redmond, who's a senior, Taylor, who's a junior, and we'll have Michael I. Pope out there on the floor with them, and then number 24, McCoy Bush. Mascaneris, who just checked into the game, has it in the corner, goes to Ray, spin move into the lane, right-hand bank shot, too strong. The rebound comes down to Bush, or Jarrett Taylor. Pope has it with the high side. Route Grant. Redmond puts up the 3-ball. It's short. And last touch by Taylor will go out of play, and Sparto will come in for South. 81-53 with 3:06 as the student sections have awakened, going back and forth.
As Cheyenne East with the victory tonight, they're going to go to 17-4 overall. For Cheyenne South with the loss, they're going to fall to 7-13 on the season.
Another senior, Brody Klein, will come out on the floor. Cole Michaeli will take a seat. So some seniors that don't see a ton of playing time getting a chance to play here at Story Gym.
Yes.
Manzanares with the basketball for South. He's in the rings. Goes with the crossover. Now looks to get into the lane. Puts up the left-hand floater. Too strong off the right iron. Pope grabs the rebound. Here comes Bush now for East in transition. Bush goes back to Pope. Pope with the left-hand dribble, hands it off to Redmond. Redmond gets into the lane, knocked down by Tiger Moite. Kick out pass, Bush. Bush hands it off to Taylor. Taylor will dribble it back to the senior Grant Redmond. Redmond tries to cross it over, loses the handle, now has dribble picked up, goes over to Pope. Pope looking to get into the lane, will do so, puts up the right-hand floater, too strong, and Mascaneris will grab the rebound.
Yeah, Cheyenne East will take on Cheyenne Central, pending of the outcome at Laramie, but you would assume that the Indians should come away with the victory. Sets up number 1 versus number 2 next Friday.
3-ball missed by Tiger, last touch by Bardo as Scott will come in, and Cole Michaeli back in for East. Scott will come in for Tiger Moite, or for Manzanares.
Next Friday here at Story, again, the big matchup, 1 versus 2, Cheyenne Central, Cheyenne East. Again, battle, or at least, again, a contest that matters towards seedings for the upcoming regional tournament.
Well, actually, if Central wins tonight, they'll clinch it because of liked opponents. But nonetheless, if you're East, you would love to knock down your division rival or your crosstown rival a peg or two by giving them their first loss in the state of Wyoming. Pope will put up the 3 from the right wing, rattles in and out, and the rebound comes to Doherty. Lob pass over to Bardo. Bardo's got to run it down. He does so. We are at 1:40 left here in this fourth quarter. Bardo on the right elbow goes to Scott. Scott in one dribble puts it up from 3. Nothing but net for Hunter Scott.
And that'll get that student section here at Story fired up.
81-56 the score. Michaeli with it on the left wing. Goes over to Pope straight away. Pope looking for one of his seniors to pop open. He's going to hand it off to Redmond. Redmond gets into the lane. Turn around from the free throw line. Air ball.
So another turnover there for Cheyenne East. Cheyenne South at least next weekend will be in Laramie taking on the Plainsmen. Again, for that contest, which I think should have some at least.
That does have seating, I would think, as both teams are, or Laramie with just one quadrant win. South, if they're able to upset Laramie, would be tied with them. And I'm not 100% sure what that tiebreaker would look like. Mascaneris puts up the 3. It's short, and the rebound will come down to Bush and Moite. We're going to get a jump ball, and it'll be South basketball with 45.8 seconds left.
I wouldn't doubt that tiebreaker is probably some sort of long division or something.
Right. Well, because I believe they all went 0-4 on the road against the other quadrant, which is the first tiebreaker after head-to-head, or the next tiebreaker after head-to-head. And then after that, they go liked opponents, and I'm not sure what they'll do with liked opponents.
It almost sounds like you've done your homework.
I tried sometimes. Actually, one of the coaches told me as Mascarenas gets the shot to fall and one, his first bucket tonight, and he'll get a chance to go to the line for one more.
That's not a bad thing to do. Get the coaches at least insight. 15th foul called against Cheyenne East. That one going against, it looks like Redmond, so Grant will pick up his first foul.
Mascarenas, 60% on the scene. He misses the free throw. Scott knocks it out of play. Michaeli knocks it out of play.
With about 41.9 seconds remaining in this contest, where Cheyenne East is going to get the big time, at least a large victory here over the Fightin Bison.
Scott in the lane. Foul called on Michaeli, and Hunter Scott will go to the line to shoot 2.
As that will be the 16th foul called against Cheyenne East. That one going against, as you mentioned, Cole Michaeli picking up his first foul.
Scott, one dribble, puts up the free throw attempt. Nothing but net. 58% on the season. He grabs his 4th point. 81-59 our score. 38 seconds left here at Story Gym. Second one on the way by Scott. Hits off the left iron. Grabbing the rebound is Klein. Bush will get it across the timeline. I think Coach Horsley going with the double thumbs down. I wonder if that means no shots, but we'll see. Trying to play a little 4 corners here and spread them out and run this clock down.
Yeah, again, without a shot clock here in the high school ranks, pretty much just play keep away.
15 seconds left on the clock. Bush goes to the left corner to Michaeli. Back up top, Bush with the basketball. That is exactly what it looks like. They're just trying to run down this clock. As for East, as Nick said, they'll go to 17-4. They'll go 4-1 in quadrant play and set up for a huge battle against Central for a chance to at least tie for the quadrant record, Their final 81-58-59 in favor of East. We'll take a 2-minute timeout. Have you the final stats for you right here from Story Gymnasium on 1480 KRAE.
If you're looking for fun and adventure, Kia of Cheyenne is the place to start, and the 2019 Kia Sorento will help you find it. I'm AJ Miller, and the 2019 Kia Sorento will give you what you need to make things happen. This vehicle has plenty of power, all-season traction, safety features, technology, and comfort for any road you're on. The Kia Sorento offers plenty of standard features for the money, and we're all about saving you money. Come in, call 775-0123, or go to KiaofCheyenne.com, and we'll make it easy.
College. It's filled with classrooms, instructors, and exams. But beyond that, it's filled with curiosity, budding friendships, insightful conversations, and so many opportunities. There will be people like you, and you, and you. You'll work, you'll play, you'll struggle, and you'll succeed. But when you allow yourself to pursue your dreams, you'll learn what you're truly made of.
Take a look at our final stats here in this 81-59 East victory over South. Starting with South, they had two players with 15 points, Cameron Bird and Leandre Ray. 11 points for Kevin Bell, 5 points for Maurian Alexander, 4 for Hunter Scott, 3 for Raymond Doherty, and then 2 apiece for Manzanares and Jeremiah Moite. For South, they also finished the game with 12 turnovers. They went 11 points in the first quarter, 12 in the second, 19 in the third, and 17 in the fourth quarter. For East, they're led by Xavier McCord, who's just lighting the Class 4A on fire right now. Another 20-point night, 23 points for him. Chance Allmiller had 15, 12 for Graydon Buell, 11 apiece for Demetrius McCord and Jake Rail. Again, going back to Allmiller, he had 15 and 10 rebounds for a double-double. And then you had 6 points for Michael Pope, 3 points for Alec Clark, and big thing is the starting five all in double figures for East.
I was going to say, again, as we alluded to with Cheyenne East, a very unselfish team that Coach Rusty Horsley puts on the court. Again, showcase itself here tonight against Cheyenne South. Again, cruising to a victory. It wasn't from the get-go. Again, Cheyenne South did have the early lead in this contest. Again, it was very reminiscent of what we saw in that girls contest early on. But again, it was pretty much controlled and dominated by Cheyenne East. So right now for the East High Thunderbirds, their focus is coming up next weekend, at least next Friday, here at Story Gymnasium, where you, Chris, will be here on the radio side, 1480 AM, 101.1 FM, as it will be Cheyenne East versus Cheyenne Central. At tentative, it should be, again, Central, as you mentioned, again, I do believe leading by at least 20 right now. Again, it should be the battle of number 1 versus number 2 again here live at Story Gymnasium. Again, that will be the boys contest. Girls also, too. Again, a lot of implications on that one. That is for seedings for the regional tournament, and also, too, kind of that at least quadrant crown here coming up at least Friday next weekend here at Story Gymnasium.
Well, I was going to say, as far as East goes, quarterly scoring 22, 22, 25, and 12. So the quarters that really where you saw a lot of their starters out there putting up 20-point quarters, you're going to win a lot of games even when you play a team like Central.
Absolutely, and that will wrap up things here live from Story Gymnasium, where again it is East High getting the sweep on both the girls and boys side against Cheyenne South. South will be in action coming up next weekend. They will be over the hill in Laramie, taking on the Lady Plainsmen and Plainsmen. So again, at least big contest for Cheyenne South. It will be the end of the regular season next week for all of our local teams here in Cheyenne across the entire state as well. Our next action here on 1480 KRAE will come up at least tomorrow live from the rack on the campus of LCCC, as it will be the final regular season for LCCC, both men and women, as they play host to Central Wyoming College, the Lady Rustlers and Rustlers, happening tomorrow at 2 and 4 o'clock here on 1480 KRAE. Again, women up first, men up second. A lot of implications for those contests as well, again, as it is the end of the regular season for LCCC, as we get set for next week for that first round playoff game to get into the Region 9 tournament, respectively, for both men and women.
Well, for Trowa Elbert-Armstrong back at the house, doing a great job as always, and my partner Nick Proietti, I am Chris Polton. We'll take you back to your regularly scheduled programming right here on 1480 KRAE.